Hey folks, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, focusing on the Western Conference. Stanley Cup futures in the NHL. The draft's behind us, free agency's behind us, and we take a look at the numbers and some teams that are mightily interesting. And this West is going to be something special. Golden Knights, 7-2 to win the West. It's up to 4-1. 6-7 to 1 for them to win the Stanley Cup. They take a lot of money here in Vegas, but it's an all-star team up front. They do have cap issues, waiting to find out if they can sign Nikita Gusev. But if Fleury plays well, the Golden Knights are a player. San Jose got long in the tooth. Pavelski's gone. 8-1 down to 7-1. Maybe one more good year with a kick at the can. Lose a couple of pieces, but maybe Marlowe comes back here. The team's really interesting taking money. Colorado 6-1 down to 5-1. This is a team made a big push, a big step forward last year. Grubauer's going to be the number one goaltender there. Varlamov is gone. They get Nazem Kadri in there. This is a well-coached team, and the Avs are set to be good for a long time. Winnipeg, I'm not buying 8-1. They lost a lot on the blue line with Tyler Myers and Trouba leaving. They've got talent up front, but you got young players in Laine and Connor that you're going to have to pay. And I just don't know that in their own end of the rink, other than Buffalo, they got problems. Dallas is interesting. They get Joe Pavelski and Corey Perry to come in there with a terrific goaltender in Ben Bishop. Their number went from 12-1 to 14-1 to win the West. I think that number went in the wrong direction. Calgary holds true, 10-1. Really good season last year. Got to sign Tkachuk, but the pieces are still in play. The goaltending remains the issue in Calgary. Predators go from 10-1 to 12-1, and I don't know that that's the right move either. It may be addition by subtraction with Subban getting moved out of there, but all of a sudden coming in is Matt Duchene, get him a little more offense. I think the Preds are going to be interesting. A team I think is really interesting in the West is Arizona. All of a sudden, this was a rebuild, and they were a young team. Now they've got some veterans in there to go with the kids. Phil Kessel shows up. The goaltending's pretty good, like Tocchet, the coach. 14-1. I think Arizona can make the playoffs in the West. Minnesota 20 up to 25. They do get Matt Zuccarello via free agency, but I think there's a lot of work to be done in Minnesota. The Blackhawks actually have done some pretty good work. They make a couple of trades in their own end of the rink on the blue line. They get the Hahn, and then they back on the blue line. They shore things up a little bit. They get Oli Mata from Pittsburgh. Don't sleep on Shaw's a nice addition. Some good young pieces there. Those contracts, though, for Seabrook and Duncan Keith really still hurt the Blackhawks. But 20-1, Chicago could be dangerous. Vancouver's intriguing, 20-1. Little mix and match, trying to shore things up in their own end of the rink. But you got the Pedersen kid, Besser, some young kids making some noise. You got the best player in the world in Edmonton. They're 25-1 down to 20-1. They can only go up. And who'd have thought you'd see both of these teams at the same time? 40-1, the long shots in the West. Man, Anaheim and the Kings are in big trouble, getting old fast, and not much sign of hope for either of those teams. Taking a peek at the Western Conference in the summertime, looking at the Stanley Cup futures for you here at bangthebook.com. I'm Brian Blessing. Follow me on Twitter at Brian Blessing, and don't forget the Sports Betting Podcast with our good buddy Adam Burke.